Customizing Fixed Asset Manager. Fixed Asset Manager allows you many ways to customize your data. In this module, I'm going to talk about customizing the way assets are subcategorized in the Explorer pane. That's the left top-hand window. Currently, the default categorization is the entity, all assets, and each of your books, like ACE, Accounting, Altman, and Federal. The second way we're going to talk about today is customizing the way assets appear under your asset lists. In order to do this, we have to customize or move around these columns. And we'll talk about that in more detail in a little bit. Let's go back to customizing our view in the Explorer pane. I want to set up a view that everybody in the company can use that means more to our company than these books. In order to do that, I select the View menu and Custom. Notice here I have a view listed. It's called Default, and it has an icon of a globe. Default is a system-provided default view that you see here on my screen. The icon indicates it's global. Anybody accessing the system can use this view. But I want to create one that's global that means more to the company. So I'm going to create New, and here I have a list of available fields. I'm going to select State, City, and Department. And I'm looking at this and I realize department really doesn't mean a whole lot to everybody in the company. It just means something to myself. So I'm going to take that one out, and I'm going to do that by clicking on it and selecting Remove. To make this view usable by everybody, I click on the box Make a View Global. When I'm done making my selections, I can click Cancel to exit out. There's also a Help button to tell me what I need to do, or I can click OK. Once I click OK, the new view that I created is in my custom view list. It has a globe as an icon, meaning that it's global and everybody can use it. To apply this view, I select Apply View. Now when I access my entity, I have my entity name, all assets, and my states. Under each state, I have one or more cities. When I select a city, I get my assets. What if I want to make a view that means more to me? I can set up a private view. I do it pretty much the same way as I did the global. Go to View, Custom. In here, I'm going to select New and say I want my depreciation expense and my accumulated depreciation and my department. Now I want this to be for me only, so I'm going to deselect Make the View Global. I click OK, and there's my view. And if I scroll out, you can see departments at the end. Notice the icon is a padlock. That's a private view. Only my login can see that view. Then I can click Apply View. Now you'll see that I have the entity, my all assets, my depreciation expense code, my accumulated expense code, and my department. When I click on the department, I see my assets. Here I have two accumulated depreciation expense codes, and when I expand them, you can see that they both have vehicles. Now I said that we could customize the way we view assets. We do this within our View pane. That's the large window to the right. Here I have my default columns. It includes asset ID, description, date acquired, cost, type, classification, and calc under. I can shorten or expand these columns by clicking on the line and moving left to right. I can also move the columns. Like if I don't want type there, I can put it at the end. I can also move classification. Any of the columns I want, I can move around. Say I really don't care about all these columns. There are some other things I really like to look at. Maybe the state and city for each of these assets. I can customize which columns show here. In order to do that, I select the Tools menu, Options. Down at the bottom, I have Asset View Column Selection. Here it gives me a list of all the columns available to put on this view. They're my accounting information fields. So to select only the ones I want, I'm going to unselect all and start from fresh. Notice when I did that, the top 3 did not uncheck. These are defaults and required by the program. I want those 3, plus I want my state, my city, and tax year. I click OK, and it's automatically applied. So I didn't keep my date acquired, but I kept the tax year, which contains the year the asset was placed in service. So now I can move these columns around in any fashion I want. This view applies to all entries and all entities. If I scroll down here to maintenance, I still have the same view. Or if I go to vehicles, I still have the same view. Until I change it back to my default, it will stay that way every time I log in. If I want to go back to my default, I go to Tools, Options, Asset View Column Selection, and check the default box. It unselects all the other columns and reselects the defaulted ones. Click OK, it automatically applies it, and I'm back to the default view. This is 2 ways to customize your Fixed Asset Manager Explorer and View pane.